Big Things Coming is proudly brought to you by Dazzle Home Loans. Darren's 15 years experience in finance will remove the worry when buying your new home.
Yo!
Hey, welcome back.
Hello. Welcome, everybody.
Fee's
Big
in.
Things Coming. We've got myself, Jordy. Here's Mel, of course,
Thank
by my
you.
side. And guest host today, Fee.
I love that you're here, Fee.
Oh,
Big
thank
Fee.
you.
It's making
We-
my day.
Getting through the motions, going through and getting stuff done.
We are getting stuff done.
Hope you're being safe in the Perth scene and
Yes.
staying creative.
There's been lots happening, hey?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Keeps it going.
even though we're in the midst of winter, or maybe not the midst, but we're at the start of winter. It's been a little bit ick,
Touch
but
and go.
there's still been a lot happening. So keep supporting your local scene.
Yes.
Yeah.
Please.
Absolutely.
But who do we have today? Please,
in the
let's get
local
into it.
scene, and speaking of creators, we have Miss Cara Perrin.
Thank
Perrin?
you.
Yes. The
Hi.
creator
Perrin.
of children's author Mick the Tick,
Mick the Tick.
Oh, God, I love that.
coloured book for children. First author of the show. Thank you for coming down today. How
Well,
are you?
First, is it our first author? Have we not had another
We've done
writer
lots
on
of
before?
film, screenplays. but
True.
I think this is our first author of a
I
book.
think you might be right.
I
No.
feel so honoured.
You've broken our cherry. You've busted the cherry off.
So thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
How are you feeling today?
I'm terrified.
That's okay.
No.
It makes you
No.
feel alive. At least it lets you know that you're alive. You
This is true. Very,
So-
very true.
just
much,
got to use it.
much like a tick on your body would do if you, you know that you're
goodness.
alive.
Yeah,
Was
let's
that, was that a
jump
natural
straight into it.
segue into
Mick the
it?
Tick. The background. We need to know because ticks aren't necessarily liked in life. They're not the nicest people or creatures. So Mick the Tick, there must be a backstory behind it. Please let us know the whole story of Mick
Yes.
the Tick, how it came to be.
Thanks for that. No, ticks are not really well liked.
No.
In saying that, though, Mick the Tick, even though he's a bit, sinister in the book, I tried to not make him too scary because it is a children's book.
Sure.
But the book came about because 8 years ago I was actually bitten by a tick. And and I was diagnosed with Lyme disease.
Oh no! My goodness.
So that's not currently recognised in Australia.
Isn't sorry, I just need to pause that because that is absolutely astonishing to me that it's not recognised in Australia, considering we have kangaroos and animals and wildlife and things like that could bite you.
Yeah.
Like, the
Yeah.
ticks can, bear on them and then they bore on you and then you get the Lyme disease. So
Yeah, so I think the situation at the moment with tick transmitted illness is that it's similar to things like mosquitoes when they bite you. So some mosquitoes might have malaria or Ross River virus, but
Okay.
not all of them do.
Right.
So when they're testing to see if Australian ticks have Lyme disease, they're not finding the particular ticks that have it. It's kind of like the luck of the draw, or in my case, the bad luck of the draw.
yeah, right.
In saying that, though, it's absolutely changed my life for the better. And I've done some amazing things and some wonderful things and met some wonderful people because of it. And had it not happened to me, I would have never known that this was an issue in Australia.
Right.
So
My
tried
goodness.
to turn lime into lemonade. Snap.
Wow!
I've been waiting
I'm
weeks
still,
to say that.
but that's a good one to do. Oh my goodness!
That just, I'm such a fan of like little things like that, and that just really tickled my funny bone. I was just like so happy with it.
My goodness. So wow. So like straight pure life imitates art, and you went through this ordeal.
Look, you can either let life knock you down
Yeah.
and, let it break you, or you can pick yourself up and do something with it.
Yeah.
So, I've tried to reach out to lots of different people to get support. It's very difficult to get diagnosed, let alone treated.
Can
Did
you
they
talk about-
actually diagnose that? Because I worked with a gentleman that was perfectly healthy. He went to the gym I think maybe 5 times a week. And then he got struck down with what he thought at first was being bitten by a mosquito because he was in Bunbury or something like that, and they did was like a long distance course for the fitness thing that they did, and so they were in a bit of mud and all that sort of
Okay.
stuff. So at first they thought it was Ross River virus.
Right.
Then they said it wasn't that. Then he thought he'd been. Then he thought it was the tick. And
What were the symptoms though? Was it like flu-like for him?
he basically couldn't get out of bed, so I don't know if
It's
it was the
pretty
same
brutal.
thing as
Right.
yeah. They wouldn't acknowledge the Lyme disease
No.
because they say it's not in Australia.
No.
So in the end, through so many different tests and neurological doctors, he ended up going back to Sydney to get treatment a lot quicker. And then they put it down to chronic fatigue.
Oh wow.
Chronic fatigue is a symptom, not a diagnosis in
Yeah.
my books.
Yeah. I agree. I agree.
So how did you go?
Yeah, I had a long journey with that. So when I was first bitten, it took me about 3 months to get any sort of answers. My original doctor didn't want to consider anything, even Ross River. Didn't test me for any of that, and went down the anxiety path.
Oh yes, that old chestnut.
Sure, for sure.
Yeah, and I got very upset by that.
Yeah.
Of course.
And so then
An
I
emotional
found,
woman.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And then they oh now it's hormonal.
Yeah. Well, you're not old enough for that. But
Guys.
I'm a little bit older than I look. But yeah, so I found a really wonderful doctor who was very open-minded and tested me for a lot of things, but not Lyme, and found out that I had a co-infection of Lyme disease, which usually you don't just get one thing, you get multiple different
Right.
conditions from the one bite. So I think I kind of always knew that it was a possibility, but it wasn't for about 3.5 years that I then found out I was officially diagnosed with Lyme disease.
Oh my gosh, that is such a long journey. Do you know?
Yeah.
And did it, geez. So, okay, I just want to take it back a wee bit. So, the ticks, I'm a little bit sort of, I'm not knowledgeable in this area, so, but I do know that ticks can stay in your skin.
Yes.
Right? So they can do their bite, or do they just bury into your skin and hang out there?
The burrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, it depends really, because I've heard from people that ticks have been found crawling on them and they haven't quite bitten yet.
Yes.
They do bury their head into
Yes.
you, because you need to be very careful if you do remove a tick not to leave the head in.
Of course.
Which
Yeah.
we think is maybe what happened to me, because
Okay.
I thought it was a scab. And I'm
Oh.
Just picked it.
scratching at this thing thinking, why is that not coming off?
Oh. I'm getting the icks with the ticks.
So they
goodness.
think that that's probably what occurred in my situation.
Okay.
So,
And so how long after, like, was it something that just sort of occurred for you suddenly, like physically? Were you just like, oh my gosh, I just feel wretched all of a sudden?
symptoms happened immediately.
Wow.
For me, I know some people have had different experiences where, like, years after they might, be thrown down all of a sudden with illness, but for me, it was pretty much immediate, like the same day.
Okay. And what did
Yeah.
that feel like for you? Like in sense of what were the symptoms?
Well, I was really, really healthy, really active, really outgoing. I was going to the gym, quite a gym junkie. I was lifting heavy gear in the job that I was doing and pushing myself probably a little bit too far. So when the initial symptoms started, I thought, I'm just overdoing it. I'm really tired. I'm getting a bit dizzy. Maybe I've just done too much.
Yeah.
But it wasn't just that. It was like really extreme vertigo. Like I'd be
Oh.
walking down the corridor at work feeling like I was on a boat.
Oh, yuck.
Yeah. So,
Oh.
and the fatigue was shocking, like to the point where I'd be driving to work and I couldn't breathe. And if I was taking a coworker with me, I couldn't talk to him while I was driving in the car because that would exhaust me.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So from being so overly active and so outgoing to all of a sudden being really quite reserved, and it affects you so dramatically.
Yeah.
But the pain, when the
Really?
pain hit, I was still trying to go to work, still trying to carry on. I would sit in the office with sunglasses on because I started getting light sensitivity.
Oh my gosh.
And the fluorescent tubes would set me off. So I'd sit there with my sunnies and a cap on so I could work on my computer.
Yeah.
And sound sensitivity, just everything was heightened.
So it just really impacts all aspects of your neurofunction.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow, that is scary, man.
I think there's like over 200 or 300 symptoms. And when the doctor who diagnosed me with Lyme disease back in 2020 went through all the individual symptoms with me, I think I had all of them except 5.
Oh,
so
gosh.
it was pretty evident that I had it.
This is a battleless story and a half.
Yeah, so I guess because it's not recognised in Australia, would it be fair to say that it was like a process of elimination in terms of diagnosing you, in terms of understanding your symptoms and what that might look like for a different disease or illness, and then just start eliminating?
I think I was very lucky that I found open-minded doctors, but also specifically a Lyme literate doctor.
Right.
So he was very mindful of tick-transmitted
Right.
illness. I knew growing up there wasn't a lot of education out there for children. I mean, I never really went camping as a kid. So when I went away, it hadn't even occurred to me that I had to think of things like this and worry
course.
about protecting myself.
Yeah.
So that was kind of why I started writing my book. I
Yeah.
actually was writing it in the midst of doing treatment. And so I was bedbound. I had to learn to walk and talk again.
Oh my gosh.
It took me about 18 months to get my speech back.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That would just be the most frightening
Yeah.
thing to go through. I mean, I as an
Especially when
illness-
people are doubting, or the doctors are
Yeah.
not confirming what you have
And questioning you.
and
Yeah.
not wanting to acknowledge what it actually is.
Yeah.
I look at it this way. I mean, yes, we're in an island all on our own in the middle of the ocean, but we have so many people coming and going all the time. You can't tell me that somebody hasn't had it and been bitten by something while they've been here.
Yeah.
It's Australia.
Yeah.
There's bite all the time.
Yes.
And they say over 500,000 Americans get diagnosed every year, and that's just the ones who get diagnosed.
Sure. Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
sorry, there's so many people who have got
Oh,
it.
man. Gosh. But then, so you were bedbound, you were messed up, you were getting treatment, and then you thought,
The treatment's shocking.
well, what is the treatment?
So because there's only so many doctors who will treat you,
Yeah.
treatment's quite limited, and they're pretty much trying to just do the best that they can and go off what other doctors are doing overseas. And it's worse than chemo.
Oh,
It is actually horrific.
I've had chemo, and
I'm so sorry.
I'm here, I'm good, but I've been through that process, and I know how ferocious it is. I know how it strips every living cell in your body, and it makes you feel like you just want to die.
Yeah.
So I can
actually
imagine that
opted
would,
out of treatment after
Yeah.
3 months because I said no, because they basically said you could be doing this for the next 8 years.
oh God.
And there's no guarantee it'll
Oh my
work. And I was
gosh.
like, no,
No.
sorry.
So what was the treatment then? Was it a combination? Is it?
I was on a specific treatment plan where I was on a lot of medications. So I had a lot of pills
Yeah.
and liquids and antibiotics,
Yeah.
antivirals,
Yeah.
anti-malarias, IV treatments.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I'd have a reaction, I'd go to the ER and nobody knew what to do with me.
Oh my God, that's so scary.
So you're laying there having a 6-hour seizure,
Oh.
fully conscious and experiencing it all, and people are walking past you not knowing what to do. So I'm like, I don't want anyone else to suffer like this. Like,
My goodness.
and you can't just go out there guns blazing. You need to get your point across, don't you, and help educate people rather than being,
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
think that's the power, isn't it? The power is in knowledge, and I think coming from a lived experience like you have, that gives you this massive, sturdy platform where you have the ability to educate others and make and deliver that in a very powerful way.
Education is key.
Yeah, 100%.
And particularly with our youth, they're very much the generation of asking questions. They don't just take no for an answer.
Yeah.
They will stand there and say, well,
Why?
I
Why?
don't know. Why? They will ask and ask and ask until they get the answers. So I thought, okay, that's your best audience right now. And even if, you know, it's 20, 30 years down the track that they end up in these positions where they can make a difference, their parents are sitting there reading with them too. So I'm like, oh, wow, I didn't even consider that when I was writing it.
Yeah.
That was going to be something that would, you know, impact people as well.
Of
So,
course. So tell us. We've heard the backstory, and it's brutal. But I'm so glad that you've made it to this point, and you're turning what you said into limes into lemonade, and now here comes Mick the Tick.
Mick the Tick, he's standing there in the limelight. Quite a few years ago, I was studying my grad dip ed, and when I was in the process of writing the book, I was very much wanting it to be engaging for children and have a real rhyme, repetition, rhythm to it, so that they would remember. So it's got a very old woman who swallowed a fly sort of,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, feel to it. I really took like inspiration from people like Peter Coombe. I loved him growing up and his sort of music. So I actually have a song at the end of the book that I wrote
Amazing.
in the shower, because that's where I get all my greatest ideas.
Sure.
And my beautiful cousin is actually a conductor in the UK and helped me put it into the right key.
Oh, just the stars aligned, right?
When it's meant to be, it's just meant to be, and everything kind of fell into place. So my illustrator is over there as well. She was really wonderful and has made the most beautiful characters out of, you know, my translating all my gobbledygook in voice memos.
Yeah,
and she's in the UK, so she'd never seen an Aussie animal before.
Oh, wow.
And I'm trying to explain to her.
Because it's all Australian based, obviously.
All Aussie animals, and the Americans are loving it.
Can we talk about the characters? Like, who have you got?
So Mick the Tick,
Yep.
obviously. We've got Ruby Sue, the red kangaroo.
Ruby
Kara Koala.
Yep.
And Ringo the dingo. Pat the cat. And Jake the snake.
Oh.
Who else have we got? Maddie the platy.
Oh, this is so cool.
I know.
Edna Echidna.
Yeah.
Ocker the quokka.
Of course.
Nat the wombat. And Blossom the possum, who I've actually brought with me as well.
Oh, Bloss.
I had a cat called Possum and Blossom.
Oh, did you?
Really?
Love it.
Oh, I see. You literally have a song.
Oh.
It's actually got the music notes and everything. So if, you know, kids
You sort of learn how to play the piano and play along.
or have it in music class at school. I'm actually looking at putting together a lesson plan for teachers so I can give them all the information. They don't have to go out and find it all for themselves, and just equip them with all the info.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
This is
Pictures are
amazing.
beautiful.
So you said you got a diploma. No, what did you tell you?
I was studying my grad dip ed.
Grad dip
I
ed.
didn't finish it.
Okay.
I had my prac to go, and I had to get back to paying mortgages.
Damn, those mortgages.
I wish
boring
I'd finished it.
So, oh man, but you still had that, I guess, a lot of knowledge from that, right?
Definitely.
Do you have your own kids?
No.
Okay.
And I probably won't now because of this.
Of course.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, so, I mean, you just seem so connected with younger people and what their needs are. Because, I mean, honestly, thinking about music education or thinking about raising awareness about a very important thing, music is so like the way to educate young people because it's
100%.
catchy, it sticks in your, in their heads. It's the reason why, the ABC and all those other songs are repetitive. And we think about the ABC song and we think about Twinkle Little Star and it's the same melody, and it's kind of like, I used to work with kids, right? So, and so, yeah, it's so great that you combined knowledge, beautiful illustrations, a very real story and music together. I think that's so wonderful.
Yeah, 100%.
I can see
and
why it's so
I
popular.
think also having those moments where I think back to when I was a child and what really stuck with me and what did I take away. You know, you remember those amazing songs and books and, you know, fairy tales and poems that you learn as a kid. And even as an adult, you think it takes you back to that childlike, you know, feeling that you had. So I really wanted to capture that with the book and hopefully pass on that feeling to, you know, another generation.
Oh, it's amazing.
I remember recently, I can't remember exactly the reason. I think I might have been seeing my partner's dad's place, and there was a copy of Possum Magic. And I read that.
Yeah.
It had been 25 plus years since I read it, but as soon as I just opened it up, it just sent me right back. I was like, oh, wow, these
Right in the
memories
feels.
just,
Yeah.
they live with you forever, and I'm sure this will do the same for the future generations.
I hope so.
Absolutely.
That's the goal. I mean, the nostalgia of, you know, those sort of books when we were growing up. And I just hope that one day, you know, 20, 30, 40 years down the track, that maybe this will have some sort of impact like that.
Surely.
But yeah, I'm really excited because I've actually been contacted by an animation studio.
Oh my God.
Amazing.
Who have worked with Disney and, you know, like Banana Man on
Oh my
BBC and
gosh.
Cartoon Networks and all sorts of things. So I'm currently in the process of getting voice actors to, you know, put voices to these characters' faces now
That is so exciting.
amazing.
to make a cartoon of Mick the Tick.
Oh my God.
That'd be so cool.
Do you mind if I have a look at Mick the Tick, like the actual squishy guy?
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. See, now, for a little tick,
get
this is
past
damn cute. I'm just going to say. Do you know? And look, you could just make a whole.
I think the possum's cuter.
I feel a bit. I feel he's like he's
Awesome.
got a rough trot. This guy, like, he's had a hard deal. You know, like it's not his fault as a tick.
So do all these animals carry ticks?
So I did actually research this to make sure that all the animals I picked for the book have actually been researched and infected. There was an extra character who I did cut out, Brock the Croc, because there's quite a bit of research about crocodiles and getting bitten by ticks.
Right.
Oh, wow.
So, but there was just so many animals by
Right.
this point.
Yeah.
But I did actually go through and check to see if all the animals I'd picked, even though they were Aussie animals that I wanted to use, to make sure that they were actually animals that were bitten by ticks.
Right. So yeah, lots of research into it. Do you think this might? I mean, obviously you've got a lot going on with potential cartoons and stuff like that. Do you think it was going to roll over into a book, or is it going to be like, is it an ongoing thing that you can picture?
series?
Yeah, even or
Everyone's asking me, is there going to be another Mick the Tick book? Like, what happens next? And I'm like, well, if you read this book, you'll kind of realise that Mick kind of meets his demise. So there's not really room for him to have another book. But I am thinking about
Bloody
taking...
tick.
I am thinking about maybe doing stories for all the other characters.
that would be amazing,
and
right?
them having their own, you know, moment to shine in the light. So
and what, I guess what could
Wicked.
potentially be important for people to know about that animal, right? So yeah, like, I mean, obviously there's a lot of endangerment in Australia, and people go hunting and stuff like that ruin our beautiful animals. So
And it's also like the interesting of the facts for the certain animals to spread awareness of Australian animal culture.
Now that
the-
book would have gone really well in my daughter's primary school.
Oh.
Yeah.
So Marangaroo Primary School has a golf course at the back of it.
Right.
And so there's kangaroos there. So there were quite a few children that actually got ticks
Right.
No way.
from playing on the oval because of the kangaroos, and they were all warned. So that book would go
Oh
very
my
well
gosh.
because the golf course is still there. The school's still there. So
I'm
yeah.
actually in talks
Yeah.
with a couple of organisations at the moment to see if I can get funding to cover print costs so I can actually donate the books to as many primary schools as I can,
Awesome.
just so kids have, you know, the capability of coming across this info. So that's the goal. I
Yeah,
would
yeah,
love
yeah.
to be able to just give my book away as much as I
of
can.
course. It's-
So yeah, that's definitely something that's in the works.
The illustrations are amazing.
They are.
She did an amazing job, and like, honestly, I feel so bad because I'm such a perfectionist and such a stickler.
What was the name again, sorry? Of the illustrator?
Bex Sutton.
Bex Sutton.
Yeah, so she's based in the UK and she's got quite a few books that are out in Dimmicks as well.
Wow.
So amazing talent. And the first thing everyone says when they look at it is like, oh my God, the pictures.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're captivating, right? And
Yeah.
it's so you focus on the actual illustration. It's not like over busy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Pretty
and I was
spice.
very particular about that. I said to her, because she does these beautiful artworks that are so vivid and just absolutely stunning. And I said, I need there to be quite a bit of blank space so that the text doesn't get lost
Yeah.
in the images.
Yeah.
So I think she found like the perfect balance.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I
And did you
noticed the
have-
text is.
Sorry,
Oh,
go ahead.
sorry.
No, you go ahead.
I noticed the text is a good size
Yeah.
as well. So.
Yeah, definitely. It's kind of, I guess, skewed more towards, I guess, your 3 to 10-year-olds. But in saying that, I've had, young kids who aren't even starting reading, send me videos of them reciting how they interpret the book, saying, Mick the Tick was too quick and he bit the animal and sucked his blood. And I thought, I didn't say that, but I'm glad you got the message. And then I've had older kids who are like 12, 13 and even 15, saying, we want to sing, when you record the music. And I'm like, that's so great.
It is amazing. It's amazing. I congratulate you.
Thank you.
It's such an achievement, and it has that potential to keep growing and growing and growing for you. I was going to ask you if you had any experience previously in writing, and specifically children's books, but in any other sort of medium like adults or poetry or creative writing or.
Not really. I mean, I did a postgrad in broadcasting, so I did a little bit of writing with that, but nothing like this. I always, even when I was young, always had the plan that I wanted to write a children's book, and it was just in my mind. At some point I wanted to do it, but I didn't know what. So when I kind of came up with this idea, a lot of people said to me, don't do it.
Oh, really?
Because it was going to be so much work, and I was so sick, and I was, bedridden.
Sure.
And people just wanted me to get better and
Yeah.
didn't want me focusing on things, that were going to take my energy away.
Yeah.
And I was like, no,
Put the foot down.
I'm stubborn and
Yeah,
I'm going to
yeah,
do it. And
yeah.
even now, like in the past week, all this stuff has come about. It's just all falling into place so quickly. And I'm like exhausted because
Yeah.
I still have symptoms.
Of course.
But at the same time, you got to strike when the iron's hot. It's like, how often do you get contacted by someone who's worked with Disney to turn your,
Wow.
book into a cartoon? It's like, I need to make this happen.
Like
Yeah.
it's literally things like what dreams are made of, right?
100%.
Like
Yeah.
why would you be like, oh, no, thank you, not
I
today.
need to go sleep for a moment.
Right.
Can I get back to you? No,
Yeah.
It doesn't work that way. So, I'm just trying to manage my symptoms as best that I can, and with the time difference with the UK
Of
because they're
course.
based over there.
Yeah.
So I might be up in the middle of the night sending emails, but then might have to rest all of the next day.
Yeah.
So
So would this be ongoing forever, the symptoms, or?
I hope not,
Yeah.
but it's a possibility. Some days are better than others.
Yeah.
It's very much riding the wave up and down. You just never know. And people say to me all the time, you need to know your limits. But the problem is my limit keeps changing.
Of course.
So
Yeah.
what I might be able to do one week,
Yeah.
I might not even be able to do half as much the next.
That's right.
And
Wow.
it can just, floor me.
That's the thing about chronic illness or chronic disease. If you're lucky enough to be a survivor from it, it definitely impacts your world every day.
Yeah.
Do you know? Like
And
it's-
everyone around you.
Yes,
it's not
100%.
just you
Yeah.
that's going through it.
Yeah.
I feel awful that I've put my closest friends and family through this. The looks on their face when they see me suffer hurts me more than what I'm going through. It's devastating.
Yeah.
And
But we have to remember that you didn't actually put them through
no,
anything.
I get that. I think I just feel so responsible,
Yeah.
even though it's not my fault. If that
But
makes
it's happening
sense.
to you. It's your body. It's your experience, and they're lucky to be a part of that in supporting you to get through it.
I'm very lucky. I have such a wonderful support network.
Yeah.
All the people that I've needed have come into my life at a time that I've needed them.
At the right
So,
time.
that
makes a
the
huge
medical
difference.
support, all
Yeah.
those sort of things have all come about right when I've needed them.
Yeah.
So I'm eternally grateful,
Yeah,
in debt, all those
100%.
things.
And it's amazing how, like, when you do go through stuff like that, you know, it isn't just a course of antibiotics. It isn't just, actually a whole lifestyle change, a mental change, a different approach to life. And that takes time to adjust to, not just for you as an individual, but for those around you as well, who kind of really do expect you to still meet the same obligations that you're meeting with the same energy and the same enthusiasm. And it just don't work that way sometimes, you know. So I wish you the best in the recovery process,
thank you.
and I really, really do understand and empathise. Not so much about the tick and what that does to you, but I do get it from that recovery, post-recovery.
I think the
mindset.
hardest thing about that is that people look at you and think you look fine.
I was
Yes.
just going.
You look
I was
so healthy.
Just
Yes.
going
So
to say
normal.
that you look so beautiful,
Oh,
and you
thank you.
and you're actually glowing.
Yeah.
That do you get people like look at you as if, yeah, sure, like
Yeah.
I
question?
100%.
whether it's like legit.
Yeah.
I have planned my life out around this so well. I've had 8 years to get this right, and I still get it wrong. But even coming in today, I had to plan everything to a T.
Yeah.
You know, how long is it going to take me to curl my hair? Can I actually do that today, or is it going to take too much energy for me?
Yeah.
I need to wear some makeup because my skin looks like rubbish today and nobody's going to see that. But, you know, you walk into a room with a big smile on your face because Lyme sufferers are so good at hiding how much they suffer. You know, they call us warriors for a reason.
Yeah.
So we go out there and smile and take it on the chin and just try to be vibrant.
Yeah. What? You're not trying, you are. Just saying.
yeah, definitely.
You definitely have that power for sure.
I think some wonderful high-profile people having it as well makes it easier for us as well.
Yeah.
Not easier in the sense what we're going through, but like people like Shania Twain, Avril Lavigne. I think Justin Bieber was diagnosed with it.
Yeah.
You know, even Anthony from the Wiggles,
Oh,
they
yeah, that's
suspected
right.
him of having it. He was wonderful. I did a raffle a few years ago to raise awareness and money for Lyme disease, and reached out to him, and they organised this wonderful Wiggles pack for me to donate.
Well, here's an idea for you. Get the Wiggles to sing that song and you'll have
I
royalties for the rest of your damn life.
That's a good idea.
I know. I am an ideas girl.
I might have to tag Anthony in this.
Do it. Thank
Damn
you.
straight.
Thank you so much for sharing your story.
Yeah.
Thank you
We've-
for having me.
We're going a bit over time, but that's okay because we'd love to hear it.
Yes.
We hope you the best and the best with the future endeavors.
Thank you
Sounds
so
like
much for
very
having me.
prosperous.
And we'd love to have you back on post animation, Disney, whatever is going to, like, we would love to hear the end story for
Yes.
this kind of project and how that might look for you. But yeah, definitely would love to have you back on to give us an update.
I'd love to be back.
Yay.
And maybe I'll bring Charlie with me.
And if people are watching and interested, I'm sure there's so many causes that you could look up for Lyme disease and recovery and things like that. But what we want to say is, where can we find this? How can people find you and purchase the book?
Okay, so I do have an Instagram page, which is KJ Perrin _author. I need to change it to just Mick the Tick. If you hashtag Mick the Tick,
Okay.
you can find it as well.
Hashtag Mick the Tick.
But it is available on Amazon, and people can contact me direct. There's a lot of information on the Instagram page about the making of it and how it all came about, and even my journey. So there's lots of info there, and exciting times coming up for the animation.
Oh, can't wait.
Amazing. We want to say thank you quickly to Dazzle Home Loans and 11 for helping us out, hooking us up here. And a big thank you to Cara Perrin.
Thank you.
Did I say it
Thank
correctly?
you.
And check out Mick the Tick.
Yes.
Big
All my
things coming,
friends
guys.
that have got grandkids, get Mick the Tick.
Absolutely. And I really want to purchase some of the little plushies as well. Like, they're
Yeah.
so
So
cute.
cute.
They're so
Not
cute.
adorable. Thank you guys so much.
All right, take care, everybody.
Thank you,
We'll see you
Cara.
next time. Thanks, Cara. Bye.
Hi everyone, this is Jardel from Big Things Coming, and we are looking for more guests for our show. So if you're into music, dance, the arts, photography, videography, anything in between, any genres, feel free to send us a message and we'll get you on our show.